viewers, I am Comrade Blala on Green Parrot Television. Today we are going to take a look at the topic, corruption fighting back.
I am an Ijoma, I am in Niger Delta, and I speak 2 languages.
I am going to unveil the issues surrounding corruption fighting back.
Corruption is fighting back because, you see, it's natural. You cannot stop my source of income and expect me to fold my hand and be watching you. No, it's a business for them. You understand? And today, you can agree with me that it's not business as usual.
We all know, as we are all aware, that President Muhammadu Buhari, in his effort and doggedness, surrounded by his cabinet, are doing everything humanly possible to make sure corruption is reduced to the minimum. Comrade, corruption. What do you see?
The corruption, like you all know, has been responsible for the setback Nigeria have experienced since independence. And corruption is an epidemic. Corruption is a monster. Corruption is a personality that have, cut away or destroy our common patrimony through its own structure. So corruption is a very big monster that we must fight. If we must progress, if Nigeria must develop, then we must fight corruption in a way and a manner. We must not fight it with a kid glove. We must give corruption a zero tolerance in terms of fighting it. And I think this government is doing its best in terms of fighting corruption, in terms of putting structures that will prevent corruption. Because when we also fight corruption, we should put measures on ground that will prevent the act of corruption.
Not quite long, the media has been so awashed by speculations and counter-speculations as to the fight against corruption. Particularly, the one that caught our attention at Green Parrot Television is that of Kesi Agama. Kesi Agama is from the south of Ijo extraction and a contractor to the Amnesty Office in the past administration. Recently, Kesi Agama floated a platform on social media, the NDAGG, which he used to fight and criticize the effort of this administration in fighting corruption. Now, there are salient points he actually made that really brought our attention to what he is actually saying. Mr. Kesi Agama said particularly that this government is not fighting corruption.
Corruption in Nigeria today under President Muhammadu Buhari, it's at an unprecedented level.
He also made other allegations against the NSA office, against the vice president, and of course against the president himself.
And it's so sad. It is so sad that we now have a pastor, someone that calls himself a man of God, that is the vice president, a professor, a lawyer, that now lies. He lies so much that he lies more than the Honorable Lai Mohammed in lying. It's sad. For example, he said President Muhammadu Buhari has successfully tackled corruption like a few weeks ago in Jos.
The vice president, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, is a man of uprightness, is a pastor, and of course he's a professor of law. We all can attest to his integrity, his unquestionable integrity. So for you coming back to tell us that such people, Buhari, that the whole Nigerians have clamored for and are still willing to clamor for, that they are corrupt, it is quite surprising and appalling. And that is why I am standing here on Green Parrot TV to say you are extremely greedy, you are extremely corrupt. What you are doing is a sin. What you are doing is despicable. What you are doing is against natural justice. Mr. Kesi Agama, he is a cheat, he is a thief, He is a criminal, and it is obvious in the reason. But we decide to take a critical look and try to make research as to the authenticity of those claims. Went very far to discover in our investigation that Kesi Agama is a relative to the former Dizani Alise Madweke, the former petroleum minister. We discovered in the last regime that he was given contract of over 120 million naira and thereabout to be able to train some Ijaw youths in studies abroad. Mr. Agama met with Brigadier General Paul Boro to give him same contract, which turned down. So, consequent upon that, Mr. Agama took it upon himself in collaboration with past looters, people that have looted the government, and they vowed with every means to fight this government.
It is so sad that the presidency, rather than looking into that, they are coming after us. They are coming after me.
He also mentioned that the government is running after him. Of course, we all know how biting and how serious this government is. And this government will not compromise with any corrupt official, both in the past and in the present administration. Agama ran out of the country with the looted fund, only to open a platform on social media and begin to criticize this government.
We will be telling world leaders that President Muhammadu Buhari have 0 ounce of credibility. That in fact, he is now the kingpin of corruption in Nigeria.
Mr. Kesi Agama, I am so sure you are aware of the integrity of the president. I am so sure you are aware of how Buhari has cleaned the image of Nigerians in the diaspora. And that is why he was totally and absolutely accepted by the Committee of Nations. You are aware of the love Barack Obama has for him. You are aware of his good relationship with the Queen of England. You are aware also of his relationship with the German Chancellor. Surprisingly, you sit back and begin to criticize such people of such respect. It is quite shameful. It is quite appalling. It is shocking, distasteful. Such a thing. Of corruption seems to be very wide, and there are different definitions to corruption as relates to individuals. Like our former president sees it from the angle of the mindset and not the stealing. What do you think of that?
Well, whichever way you define corruption, corruption is still corruption. Whether you think stealing is corruption, whether you think corruption is not stealing, whatever way, I think corruption is a state of the mind. You understand? You know, when you are put in charge of a common patrimony, common wealth, you are entrusted, the people entrust you to guard or to safeguard or to keep our commonwealth or to use it for the benefit of all of us, and you diverted it for your own personal gain, is corruption.
We are saying that if you take a critical look at the effort and what this government is doing, you will know very well that the government has put in place measures that cannot allow for what we call corruption. First on the list, BVN. And of course, you know TSA. The government, as we speak, is doing every other measure to make sure corruption is brought down to the barest minimum. But it is funny, and very funny, that people like Mr. Agama will begin to think that money of such magnitude as he claimed can be wired to out of the country. I am telling you that this is very, very impossible. He is learned enough. He should know there is no way you can wire such amount out of the country.
I speak to you. General Boro has wired 97 million 4 times. I repeat, 97 million. 4 times.
Now, he also made salient point about the office of the NSA and the amnesty.
We were categorically informed, told that General Magonu brought General Boro to the office. General Magonu, the National Security Advisor, brought General Boro to office. Therefore, no one can remove General Boro.
Mr. Agama failed to understand also that the amnesty office is attached to the office of the NSA. These are collaborative offices that must work together to make sure peace and relative peace of course is brought to the Niger Delta development area.
Go on ground, not PowerPoint presentation on computers. Not on computers, PowerPoint presentations.
Agama did mention that Paul Boro is using computer PowerPoint to really do all this scheme he's doing. What do you mean?
Well, what you see being demonstrated either through PowerPoint or whatever is what has been achieved on ground. And of course, you see, we are in a digital age era. You understand? Certain achievements need to be up there for people to see. You understand? The journalists have the responsibility of investigating what they saw on air or in the internet to see if they are true or not. You understand what I'm saying? So what you are seeing up there through the PowerPoint display or whatever that he claims are things that are on ground, achievement that Ogoro have achieved on ground. That is what he's putting there for people to see.
Desperation has forced the vibrant youth in Nigeria to travel to Libya and other parts of the world where they are stranded.
Casey Agama, you did mention that out of desperation, our boys are traveling across the desert, across the Mediterranean Sea to Libya. But have you forgotten that in the past administration, that our youth also do travel? Have you not had issues and cases of where our youths do cross the Mediterranean Sea and have issues? That is why I'm saying is corruption fighting. Are you not aware of the Diziani 90 billion naira loot? Is that not corruption enough for you to talk?
Diziani Alison Maduke, we believe as at that time that she does not have the interest of Nigerians at heart. Neither does she have the interest of Niger Deltans.
Are you not aware of Stella Odua buying 2 bulletproof cars? Is that not enough corruption for you to talk? Are you not aware also of the Dasuki loot, arm loot? Is it not enough for you to talk? But all these things you kept quiet.
The investigating agencies are looting what they have recovered from looters. This is the case of the thief.
After a careful investigation by our team in Green Parrot TV, we were able to unfold that Agama's claims are unfounded. They are baseless. They have no fact. They are only tailored towards fighting the efforts of government, and particularly is politically motivated. We are saying that Nigeria and Nigerians should disregard this particular claim as it is only intended for personal and selfish motive. We told you Agama Casey floated a social media platform called NDAGG, which he used in collaboration with past looters in the exile to fight against this government's effort. Yes, corruption is fighting back. How do you see that?
Yes, corruption is fighting back because you see, these guys that manage our patrimony in the past have looted this country to a standstill. And when this government came, one of its cardinal promises to see that they halt corruption, they fight corruption. 3 basic cardinal campaign promises was: 1, the fight against corruption; number 2, security; and then the economy. And to God be the glory, I can affirm that yes, this country, this government has been able to do that, to fight corruption. So corruption is beginning to fight back, and that is why we are seeing some of those videos, some of those actions, some of those protests that people, they are sponsored, you understand? They are sponsored by people that have benefited so much from the proceeds of corruption. Because corruption is fighting back because, you see, it's natural. You cannot stop my source of income and expect me to fold my hand and be watching you. No, it's a business for them, you understand? And today, you can agree with me that it's not business as usual.
And because of the hard fight of President Muhammadu Buhari's fight against corruption, greedy people like Kesi Agama could not stand that fight, quickly ran away and started fighting the government in what we term as corruption fighting back. Green Parrot Television has also gone far to make investigation as to the veracity and authenticity of his claim. And we come out with the findings that Kesi Agama has no fact. What he did was against the youth. He is an irresponsible person. He is a criminal-minded person. He have done all this to the youth. The youths of Niger Delta, which he purported, which he claimed to love. These are the particular people Kesi Agama has so injured. He has sent the life of so many as relegated to the background.
And the allegations that Paul Boro stole money, is doing this by this same Agama is false. He has no evidence, he has no proof. You understand? What Paul Boro is doing in the Niger Delta is unprecedented. You understand? Using the amnesty office to train a lot of militants that have been given amnesty. You understand? And I can assure you that the Niger Delta youth are not young people that can be taken for a ride. If Paul Boro is sitting on their money, not using it the way it should be used or on what it should be used, I am telling you that those guys would protest. Niger Delta youth will not just sit back and see Paul Boro eating their money. The last time somebody tried to divert or to corner their funds, you know what happened? In fact, they blocked Lokoja way. They mobilized themselves and came to Abuja to protest. You understand? And government at that time, thank God for government, then they stepped into it. So Paul Boro is doing a good job in the Niger Delta, and I will use this opportunity to call on Niger Delta youths, to call on Niger Delta stakeholders, to call on Niger Delta leaders to support the good work that Paul Boro is doing in Niger Delta.
Brigadier General Paul Boro is particularly one of the best in the history of Niger Delta amnesty since the inception during Yaradua time. He has particularly lived the face of agriculture in the Niger Delta. If you go to Bayelsa, you go to Port Harcourt, go to the 6th Niger Delta region, his touches on agriculture are second to none. He also ventured into the agriculture, into the educational sector, which he played a pivotal role and making sure that sector is not relegated. Before now, the educational sector has been backward in the Niger Delta region. But with the coming on board of Paul Boro, has created a robust vocational skill acquisition center. That sector has been given a facelift in the Niger Delta. He was particularly and single-handedly responsible for the peace, lasting peace that has come to the Niger Delta in recent time. We understand very well that he was constantly in talks with the Niger Delta Avengers, who has vowed to destroy the pipelines and other sectors, oil sector, which we know as well is the mainstay of the economy of Nigeria. It therefore goes to mean that Paul Boro has done practically well for bringing lasting peace to the Niger Delta and especially to the Nigerian nation. You will also understand with me that if the Niger Delta, which is the mainstay of Nigerian economy, is in peace, the whole Nigeria is in peace. Of course, that makes him a hero, which you totally agree with me.
I wish to use this opportunity to call on all the Niger Deltans leaders all the Niger Delta youths to support the effort of General Paul Boro, who is through the Amnesty Office doing great things in the Niger Delta. What General Paul Boro is doing in the Niger Delta through the Amnesty Office is visible. Every right-thinking Nigerian, every right-thinking Niger Delta can see it. We can see the efforts he's making, the achievements he's recording in the areas of education, in the areas of vocational skill acquisition on the youths of Niger Deltas, on the militants in Niger Delta who have surrendered and were given amnesty. So they must support him, because the Niger Delta is very key to the economy of Nigeria. And without peace and security in Niger Delta, the economy of Nigeria will be in shambles. So I wish to use this opportunity to call upon them to support his effort. And you see, some of these things that is happening, allegations, counter allegations here and there that is coming up against General Paul Boro, I believe that is in the interest of 2019 is also factor into it. But look, let's support what General Paul Boro is doing. Let's give him a helping hand and see how this his achievement in the Niger Delta can be sustainable. And of course, I believe it's sustainable. So Agama should give peace a chance. He should give peace a chance. He should support he should support what General Paul Boro is doing in the Niger Delta through the Amnesty Office. And Paul Boro is a man of integrity, he's a transparent man, he's accountable, he has integrity. He has integrity. So let's support him. I'm calling on all the Niger Deltas once again to support what General Paul Boro is doing in the Niger Delta. And I'm telling you, what he is doing will be sustainable only if we give him the necessary support that he needs.
Now I am enjoining all Nigerians to disregard petty magnitude or call Kesi Agama. His talks are baseless, his talks are weighty, his talks are irresponsible, and such persons should not be taken for anything. And surprisingly, he is a shame to this country, sitting in the foreign land to criticize his government. This shows the level of greed, the level of selfishness, the level of shame, the level at which some people can go to fight back what the government is doing. And because of the hard fight of President Muhammadu Buhari's fight against corruption, greedy people like Kesi Agama could not stand that fight, quickly ran away and started fighting the government in what we term as corruption fighting back.
Corruption is fighting back. Let's not be deceived. If we can fight corruption to a standstill, Nigeria will be better for all of us. So let's support the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in his fight against corruption, and we will all be home to roost. Thank you very much.
Mr. Agama, the funny side of all this your issue is that you don't even have a document, you don't even have proof. You see, your Nyash have just come aside. We have just simply caught you now. You don't have anything to tell us again. Can you imagine? And so they have hired you to criticize this government. Look, these are the kind of people that are cost. In fact, if you are a true Nigerian and you are staying abroad, you have the effrontery to begin to spoil the government of Nigeria. They sit. Americans will not do that to their government. You went there. Do you think you are able to say, are you kidding me? Are you an American?
Are you kidding me?
You kidding me for what? Who are you kidding? I am also telling you too. Who are you kidding? Take your time, oh. Take your time. You just sat in one room and simply because you have a small camera like this, you just be telling yourself, they think you are talking to the whole world. In Belgium, in Germany, can't you come and develop your own father's country? Look at Charlie Boy was angry. Look at him on the street protesting.
Learn how to speak up when we are down and frustrated, and then somehow see a way that the government can work for us.
Can't you come and protest like that? Are you afraid? If you are afraid, why are you talking? Huh? We are saying you that you're a criminal. total criminal. Yes, I am appealing to United States of America, the country of God, that they are harboring one Mr. Agama that ran away with our money. He is a criminal, America. He is a notorious criminal. He is a rapist. He has done a lot of things. So you should arrest him almost immediately. In fact, arrest him now. And until I come your way next time, I am your popular comrade, Blala. But particularly on this matter, I am very, very angry that I am going to readdress it when I come back next time. Thank you.